Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. There we go. All right. Wanted to see if I could see who was in here. There we go. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It is not as hot as it has been, at least here in Chicago. I guess it's still 90 degrees, but yesterday it was 100. So I will definitely take that. Because yesterday, and it was so humid, and just you walk outside and you're just instantly drenched in sweat. It's hard to breathe. Not fun. So I am going to drop my link there, and I'm going to pin it in case anyone wants to jump up with me today. I don't really have a whole lot planned for today's discussion. We are still busy with all the things that are moving to another state and selling a house, and we finally did close. My dad finally closed on his place in Tennessee, so that is a huge relief because we have someplace to live, you guys, which is awesome. It's very key as well when you have a family of 5 and 3 of them are under the age of 5. You need a place to put your family. So he did close last week. No, this week. He closed on Monday. Yes, he closed on Monday. And then my dad and Mike actually went down to Tennessee this past weekend before he had closed. And they brought my dad brought our pontoon boat to store there because we've been storing it at my brother's house. And we got to start getting it registered with Tennessee and things of that nature. So he brought that down, and then Mike followed him in our truck with a load of stuff, and he had our trailer in tow, and we took down our play set in the backyard, the kids' play set, and loaded that up, and Mike's motorcycle, and my compost bins. So like big things that wouldn't necessarily fit on anything else. Hey, Danny. I can't believe you're stopping in here, girl. Aren't you busy hiking and doing like the outdoors thing? I appreciate you so much for coming in. So just like big things that we won't be able to take down at any other time. So I really wanted to make sure we got to do a lot of that kind of a trip situation. Well, hello. Thank you so much for coming in. Is that because you're still outside? Are you still doing like the hiking thing or not? Or are you sitting in front of a fan just because it's hot, even inside? Hello, Tony. Thank you so much for coming in. Well, thank you so much for that. The past 2 weeks have been completely insane. Completely insane. And I don't even know. I don't even know how I'm keeping it together, man. Rebecca, welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping over. Jennifer, welcome. So great to see you as well. So I was just saying that my dad did close on his house this week. So we do have a place to live and to go move to. You guys, 5 weeks from today, I need to be moving out of my house. Like, our pod needs to be gone. We need to be gone 5 weeks from today. That freaks me out. I'm freaking out just a little bit. Yes, it's very exciting, Jennifer. However, it's my son's birthday this weekend. He turns 5 on Sunday, and we're having a big birthday party for him on Saturday. And we're kind of like treating it as like a going away party too. So we have like 50 people coming to my house. So I started packing this week, and then I was like, maybe I should hold off on packing right now because I have a bunch of people coming to my house this weekend. And what am I going to do? Have like boxes all over my house? Because my garage is completely full already. And I have not begun to like truly pack. So I have like 5 boxes in my living room right now that are packed. And I'm like, I need to stop because I have people coming. So it's kind of like we're in this limbo, and I don't really know which way to go with this. Don't wait. Yeah, but it's also like having lots of boxes around your house with multiple toddlers is also a big safety concern, I would say. They just run around like little madmen and running into things, and a lot of this stuff is fragile. Like, I don't want them. I'm only packing 2 on top of each other because I don't want things to fall off anything and break anything. I mean, I still have 5 weeks, but I am pretty much doing all the packing myself because Mike works, and I'm doing it while watching the boys and carrying this kid and stuff like that. So it's a little exhausting and trying on the nerves, like smoldering. Yes. Yes, you mentioned that already. Thank you. Give me a break, man. I'm doing the best I can, Jennifer. And I started with the kids' room, the playroom, because it also doubles as like a craft room and like an extras room. So that's like by far my hardest room to pack up, because it's like you got to go through all this stuff before and then like weed out the things that you don't want to keep anymore, and then like organize things before you pack them away so that when you unpack them, like it makes sense. Like, I don't want to just whimsically throw a bunch of stuff in boxes. At least that's where I'm at now. I might get to that point, but I'm not there yet. Yeah, Danny, we were 100 yesterday. It was hot. It was hot. Hey, Chuck. Thank you so much for coming in. Yeah, but you got to go through all that stuff first before you can like get rid of it. And the going through it is what takes the longest. Hello, Mitchell, Hendrickson Family Farm. Thank you so much for coming in. Precisely. Very thick. No, so here's the hardest part. So I don't know if you guys caught this, but I'm getting a pod, and everything in my house pretty much is going into that pod, and it's going to Knoxville, which is an hour away from where my dad's house is. It's not going to my dad's house. That's why we're taking all of these trips separately to my dad's house and bringing, see, I have to be like a mind reader because my dad's house isn't that big and he's got a lot of junk because his mom sold their childhood home. And so that's, 60 years of junk. And we sold our lake house, which is another 30 years of junk. And all that stuff went to my dad. So I have to try to predict the future as to what a family of 5 with growing boys will need in the near future. And I'm just bringing the clothes that they have in their closets and dressers now, but I'm selling things too. It's just like a big deal. Well, I do appreciate you for coming in at all. Even if you're listening, that counts. I appreciate you. So that's like the other thing. I'm like, and so like I know the things that I'm taking that I want to take to my dad's house because he doesn't have like a KitchenAid mixer or a Vitamix or a crock pot or an Instant Pot. And I need those things to make my life work with 3 kids. It's just that, you become accustomed to some things, and I'm not good with change, you guys. And there's so much change going on that I can't. Yeah, they're not good flashbacks, are they? No one likes moving. No one likes moving, and I like moving even less with babies and not being able, like knowing that I won't have my stuff. Oh, I gotta stand up already. Only been on for 14 minutes and I already gotta stand up, dude. So it's a lot. But we're moving along. I'm almost out of the attorney review period. We did have to extend it because we were still like negotiating some things. But we have come to terms with our negotiations. So now it's just got to go through the attorneys and they got to do their jargony emails. And it's not like a bad experience, but it's always so hectic because you don't know what the other person is thinking. And then you're going through lawyers, so it makes it feel all like negative or something. But it's really not a bad process. And we weren't like fighting over anything. but it was still very nerve-wracking. In the past 2 weeks, I think I've had like a dozen strangers in my house when I'm home alone with my children, which I do not appreciate. Just in like inspections and estimates or quotes or whatever, inspectors, appraisers, all the people. And it's just been a lot. New Beginning Homestead. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. So it's been a lot. This week, I had one more roofer come who I did not like at all. He was not a very nice person. He was just very jerky and wouldn't like, the other guys told me exactly what they were going to do, like what their plan was and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, okay, well then I'll send you my quote. And I'm like, okay, well, what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm going to replace your roof. And I'm like, okay, are you going to do anything about the ventilation? No, you can't, because you have a ridge vent and you can't add any more vents with a ridge. Like, you know, he just had like all these opinions and was giving me all this guff. And then I was like, okay, so how are you going to send me this quote? And he's like, I'll send it in the mail. I'm like snail mail? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, the reason you're here is we're in the attorney review period and it's almost over. Like, we need to be making decisions. And he's like, okay, I'll send it in the mail. I was like, oh, okay. I guess you don't want to have this job or, you know, give me any other options. So you're clearly not interested in doing this job, and I'm not interested in working with you anyway. And then I had another mold guy come out, and he was similar but a little bit more expensive. So I scheduled today the mold guy, and then I scheduled my roofer, or I haven't scheduled my roofer yet, but I know which one I'm going to go with, and it wasn't the guy yesterday. No, Tony, I did not. Oh, wait. I did catch it at the very, very end, right as you guys, like right before you guys signed off. And I only caught your last question. It looked very interesting. I would have really loved to have heard the other questions. And just like heard all the answers. I think it's like a fun way to like communicate and get to know people and things like that. And I like how you had multiple people so you could have like banter and stuff. Thought that was fun. But it was like, it's kind of a hard time for me because that's right at like dinner time, bedtime, just kind of hard. So that's why I only caught the last question. But it looked like you guys had fun. Yes, he wasn't even mansplaining because he was just going to walk away, and I was trying to pull it out of him. Whatever. His loss, not mine. All right, let's see. Redbird Farm. Hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. And I did get my seeds from you. I have been really slacking on my mail call video. I have 3 things now that I need to do like a mail call video on. They just keep piling up, and it happens. But it is coming. Thank you so much. You loved the questions, and I haven't had time to go back and watch it. Yeah. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. I did want to ask you though, Brenda, if you got my address from Jesse and Lisa, because they sent their package to me first and they sent it to the wrong address. It went to my neighbor across the street. And then yours went to my neighbor across the street, the same address. And I was like, I wonder if, because I double checked my email to Tony and Joni, and I was like, no, I put it in there correctly. I was like, I wonder if she got my address from Jesse and Lisa. Yes, I did. Yep, I've had a feeling. Jesse's out there spreading false information, which it doesn't really matter because I won't be here in another 5 weeks. Yes, thank you, Danny. Hit those thumbs up, friends. Support me, please. I love it. Yeah. Oh, you're waiting for more. I'm not. I don't have that excuse. I just haven't gotten around to it. I pinned my link up at the top if anyone does want to come up and chat. What all do you have? What all are you waiting for? Oh. No worries, Brenda. I had a feeling, and my neighbor just laughed. And she's like, "Are you bare bones living?" And I'm like, "Yes." Hold on, guys. Yeah, we're hot. Oh. And it was funny too, because when she got the package from Jesse and Lisa, she didn't even read it. She just opened it, and it was a box. And inside they had a card, and it said Bare Bones Living, and then it said Amanda. And she's like, "Oh, what is this?" And then she looked at the address, and it was addressed to Bare Bones Living, but it was their address. It was her address, and she's an old lady with a cane. And Cole, my 2-year-old, goes, "Mama, great grandma is coming." And he's like looking out the window, "Great grandma is coming." And I'm like, "Okay, baby, okay." Like, not putting 2 and 2 together. She never comes over. Really nice lady. And all of a sudden my ring goes off, and I'm like, "Oh my God." And I knew exactly who it was. I was like, "You were trying to tell me that the old lady from across the street is walking over. Great grandma's coming. Great grandma's coming." She came over and she goes, "Are you Bare Bones Living?" And I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "I'm sorry, I opened your mail." I was like, "It's okay." And then when Brenda's showed up, she was outside gardening. And it was when the appraiser was here, and he was outside walking around the front, and she doesn't see very well. So she thought he was Mike. And she's like, "Mike." And he's like, "No, I'm sorry, I'm not the homeowner." And she's like, "Oh, I don't have my glasses on." She's like, I have some of her mail." And she started to walk over. And so he walked over and got it for her. And he comes to my door and he's like, "Your neighbor had your mail." And I was like, "Oh no, not again." Oh, well. At least she didn't have to walk all the way over this time. And he was nice enough to go over and get it. Very true. The suspense. The suspense. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna make one mail call video, and I was thinking about doing it on the live, and I was like, no, I'm at this point in my life where making videos is hard because I have so much going on. I need all the content, big or small, that I can come up with to make a video. to take up time or take up spaces where I'm supposed to be putting videos that I'm not actually doing anything. I know, and I double checked what I sent to him too, and I typed it correctly in that email as well. He's so on top of things, but even he has a fault. Yeah, it happens. And I mean, gardening season is on, right? And I'm still trying to do my best. You guys, I'm so proud of myself. I am doing so good at harvesting herbs as they are becoming available. I am chopping them off and I am dehydrating them and putting them in storage. I did not do that last year. And you guys, I had to buy parsley. I had to buy thyme. I'm on the fence about buying basil because I need to make my basil is like coming in, but when you use basil, you use a lot of basil, I feel like. And I only have like this much in a jar right now. So, but I have gotten a lot of oregano. I did some mint. I've done some thyme. I've done some chamomile. I think that's all the herbs I've done. It was literally my goal this year, even before, like, obviously we knew we were wanting to move, but we had no idea we were going to. But when I had to buy those things from Azure over the winter, I was really angry at myself because I just was not on it last year. And I mean, I was pregnant and all this other kind of stuff. I could come up with a million reasons why I didn't do it, but end of the day, I just didn't do it. And so I'm trying really hard not to do it this year. And I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Yes, Brenda, we are moving from Chicago, or a suburb of Chicago, to Tennessee in 5 weeks from today. I need to be out of my house. So 2 weeks ago, I didn't record anything or publish anything. Then last week, I think I might have posted two videos last week, and I did my live last week. Maybe I only posted one video. It's quite possible. But it was a video that I had already edited the week before or 2 weeks before. So I have not done much in the past 2 weeks. But I made a video yesterday. I made a video this morning. I might make another video this afternoon. We'll see. I might have a few videos with the same outfit on because when I have time, I am just doing all the videos. There's only so much. Thank you so much. We are very excited as well. It's quite stressful, but we are ready to be moved. I'm ready to stop doing all of this. Inspectors, selling, buying, uncertainty, negotiating, packing, driving. Yeah, I'm not just moving down the block or to the town over. It's some distance. It's about an 8-hour drive if you're just not towing anything and not making a stop every 2 hours to feed a baby, it's about an 8-hour drive from one to the other. But this past weekend, when my dad and Mike brought the first load down, it took them 12 hours because my dad didn't go over 65 towing our pontoon boat. And Mike was driving behind him to like block him, make sure that nothing happened to the pontoon boat. That's the furthest the pontoon boat's ever been towed. So it was, nerve-wracking. So he didn't go over 65 miles an hour. And you hit traffic in Indianapolis, and then you hit traffic again around Louisville and Nashville. It took them 12 hours over this weekend to get down there. And I have yet to take this trip with him, who hates to be in a car. So that's fun. And I don't remember where I was going with that. Oh, and he has to eat every 2 hours, or around every 2 hours, but he's like an alarm clock. I don't even need to have a watch. I know when it's 2 hours, don't I? Yeah, I do. Is you're my alarm clock. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. We picked Tennessee because we love the area. We love the mountains. We love the water. So we sold our lake house last year, our family's lake house that we had for 30 years. I've had a lake house my whole life. And my dad bought a house in Tennessee, and we are going to be living with him until we can find a house that we want, because we don't want to be living with my dad. So he bought a lake house, or a house on the lake that will be his permanent house. But it's also doubling as our lake house. And yeah, driving with babies is fun, Jen. The last time we went to Tennessee, Cole, my 2-year-old, was a little older than Carter is now, and he was in his gassy phase. And he screamed for an hour and 20 minutes straight when we were going through Kentucky in the middle of the night on like a very narrow 2-lane highway and no street lights. Like, we did not want to stop and pull over. Like, you become a sitting duck at that point. So we had to endure his screeching for an hour and 20 minutes while not really being in. It was like a foggy night. And some of those roads are so twisty and turny. Like, at one point, we had one corner that was going uphill and around the corner, but because it was foggy and dark and there was no street lights, we actually couldn't see the road around the corner because it was uphill and around the corner. So we're like, we don't know what we're driving into. Are we about to drive off a cliff? We have no idea. Yeah, drug my children. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Hi, you flirty. Yeah. We are going to the east side of Tennessee. We're gonna be in between, like the Nashville, Knoxville, Chattanooga triangle. We're like in the middle. Yeah, it's been our dream for like 5 years. We've been planning this. yes, I think about that trip with Cole, and then I kind of like maximize it with this kid. And it was so sad because Hunter, my oldest, was at the time 2 years old when Cole was a baby. He was 2, and he endured Cole screaming for a good hour. And the last 20 minutes, you could hear him like start to crack. And he was like, ugh, ugh, ugh. Like he was trying to like squelch it. And then he just lost it. So then I had 2 babies screaming. It was so awful. But this time I am driving separately from Mike because Mike has got to take my dad's truck down when my dad moves. My dad's got a like a Ryder truck or Penske, I don't even, whatever company, but it's a moving truck he rented. So he's driving that. So Mike is driving my dad's truck with the 2 older boys. And I am taking the baby and the dog and the chickens. Because I have an easier time kind of tuning him out. And Mike can't, like the minute this kid starts crying, Mike's like, here you go. Yeah, they might not remember, but I remember. But let's see. So they had one successful trip down, so that's good. And I'm expecting we're going to go a little bit faster, but not much because we're still going to be trailering things. And I'm going to have to stop to feed him. So I'm thinking it's going to be at least 11 hours, which does not sound fun. Right? The dads, they don't even, men, period. If moms did that, the world would end. Hey, Nina. What is going on? Thank you so much for coming in. Amen. And I kid. I'm not really kidding, but men just aren't built the same. So anyway, off that. So then we have the birthday party this weekend, dinosaur birthday party. What are we talking about? We're talking about us driving down, and I'm taking the baby and the dog in one vehicle, and then Mike is taking the older boys in another vehicle because he can't stand the screaming of the baby. And then I said men can't handle it. So final countdown is 5 weeks from today. 5 weeks from today. My dad closed on Monday, so we at least have a place to live, which is great. And we need to be out of here in 5 weeks. And I have a mold guy coming to fix the mold in my attic. over right after the 4th of July. And then I got a roof guy that I still have to schedule. And we're having my son's 5th birthday party on Saturday. And then we're moving my dad down the week of the 4th. Hello, Chris. Thank you so much for coming in. We're moving my dad in the week of the 4th. And then I also, while we're down there, so we have to be out of here in 5 weeks, and Hunter starts school in 6 weeks, which blows my mind. I feel like summer just started. And he's a kindergartner. So I've never had a kid go to school, and I haven't even begun to unpack the emotions that go along with that because I can't fathom it. So we're moving from Chicago to Tennessee, and my dad was able to find his dream lake house where he will be living. My dad lives a mile away from me here in Chicago. We are relocating to Tennessee. He is coming with us, but we will be living in different residences. But Mike and I have not found our dream home, and we don't want to just buy willy-nilly, and this market is just way too crazy. And we can't get a loan to buy a house until we are employed in Tennessee. So we're moving in with my dad in 5 weeks and living with him while Mike gets a job. My oldest starts kindergarten in 6 weeks, so I have to get there before school starts. And then Mike will get a job, we'll get insurance, we'll establish residency, and we'll be able to get a loan, and hopefully we will find our new homestead, our first homestead, really, since we live in suburbia. And then I'll get all my stuff back because I'm packing it all away in a pod and not seeing it for a while. LB, hello. So nice to see you. No. Close to Dad? Yes. With Dad? No. He is just nice enough to allow us, as a family of 5 with a dog and 6 chickens and a garden full of potted plants, to come to his house. So we're very, very lucky, very grateful that he is letting us do this. And yes. So schools up by me usually start the last week of August, or the week, maybe the end of the 3rd week of August around me. But apparently in Tennessee, they start August 3rd. And he is a kindergartner. So he doesn't actually start school until Friday the 5th. So they just go to school for one day since they're kindergartners and like dip their toe in. But then like we go down the 28th. We drive down the 28th. And then we have to like get some sort of normalcy going. And then like I have to like ease my kid into going to school and figure out what that's all about, because he's never been to preschool because of COVID. So this will be really like a new thing for him. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. And like I have like tossed around the idea of homeschooling so many times, but you guys, there's only so much that I can do. And right now, with having all the little boys, the thought of Hunter being at school, building relationships, things like that, and just away from me, I think that's really important for kids to have some separation and learn how to communicate with other people and not throw tantrums and learn to respect other people and things like that. And then that's one less kid that I gotta be watching and yelling at or doing whatever with. It gives me a little bit of a break while I'm still trying to, keep my sanity living with my dad, or gardening, or just cooking and cleaning and doing all the things that I have to do. Okay. So I'm definitely going with the school option. All right, who did I miss? Let me go up here. Thank you so much for stopping in. I so much appreciate you. Yes, please go feed those babies. Hey, Shane, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. What else did I miss? Well, yeah, I mean, if I'm the only adult really that he's interacting with, if, me, my dad, and my husband are the only adults he's interacting with, he's got to see kids his own age, make some friends, and interact with some other authority figures. For sure. Thank you so much for coming in, sir. Yeah, I can imagine that the emotions are very similar but opposite. There's always so many emotions to unpack. It's a roller coaster. But I love the ride. So yeah, that's going to be like, us moving down is going to be like a crazy situation too, because everything's just going to like happen so fast. And I don't even know how to send a kid to school yet. Thank you so much, Brenda, for stopping in. I so appreciate you. And then figuring out so I have access to my pod in the facility, but it's in Knoxville, which takes an hour to get to. And so what I've been saying is, if we can't fit whatever we can't fit in our truck or on our trailer we have 3 more trips down there. The one trip being our final ride down. But if we can't fit it in, then we have to put it in the pod, and we'll just put it in the front of the pod so that if we need to access it, it'll be right up in front. And then as I was going through things in my head and like making lists and things like that, the front of the pod kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper of all our like emergency stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is not ideal for sure. It is a 6x12 trailer. There is a video if someone is fancy enough in the moderator world and can link that. But we just bought it, actually. We bought it last month. And then I did not show you guys how Mike altered it. I bought him for Father's Day these rails that he lined the trailer in so that we can safely tie things down. Like Mike just took his motorcycle down in our swing set. And so instead of like putting D-rings into our trailer, we got this rail system. So they're really kind of fancy. They're these clips that snap into the rail, and then they have the D-ring on top of it, but you can move it anywhere in this rail, and you can put as many as you want and stuff. So that was cool. And he used it for the first time this past weekend, and it worked out really great. We are only doing one pod, Chris. Pods are very expensive. But, and I'm just praying that I can fit my house and my stuff in one pod, because there's no backup plan. Oh, whoop. I would, nope. I think I have to do that. I can't do it from StreamYard, right? I'm new to this. I think I got to do it from here. Hold up. Yeah, I got it. Bam. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Let's see. I volunteered tribute. Oh, that's so funny. I am a oh God, the name is escaping me. What's the series? The Catching Fire and all that. I can't think of the name of the series, but you know. Backlash Fisherman, thank you so much for stopping in. Did you catch any more fish? You were at 4 and 4 the last time I checked out. Nope. Oh, yes, only in YouTube. Okay, that's what you guys are talking about. All right, yes, I figured it out, guys. I'm behind. Let me catch up. Sure, if you'd like, that'd be great. What do you mean left so much behind? Hunger Games. Thank you. God, that was driving me crazy. Yeah, Backlash. You putting in that hook. That was cool. The Hunger Games Backlash. I couldn't think of the name of the series, and then Catching Fire and those are like the names of the different books. Okay, you need help? You want to try doing it by yourself, baby? You don't want to try it? No. Okay. Hey, that's something, man. No, baby, I wasn't talking to you. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I have to go help a toddler in a potty. Yeah, so that's something we got to work on before he goes to school too. That's kind of freaking me out. He's gotta learn how to wipe his own butt and not get it all over the place. All right. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm trying not to leave all that stuff behind because we're not going to have any money to be putting towards anything when we get down there. Yes, fish for dinner. That sounds good. Did you keep any of them? Yeah, my 2-year-old was interested in the potty, and I was like, "Oh my God, are we going to do this early? Are we going to do this fast?" And then he's just one day he was like, "Nope, I'm not going anywhere near that potty." I'm like, "Okay, okay." Is that just because you like to throw them back so that they get bigger and fight you better? Oh, there you go. Fish does sound good. I just had fish last night in a video that I will be posting very soon. But it was not a fish that I caught. It was store-bought. Oh, no? Okay. I can't say that I have tried it. Night, Mom. All right, night. Go back to bed, please. Wow. Hey, Nick. How are you? Thank you so much for popping in. Yes, catch them for fun. New Zealand. What time is it in New Zealand? That's so awesome. Yeah, I know, but he's just in kindergarten. I don't have to worry too much just yet. "9 a.m. All right. So then it's 9 a.m. on Thursday, I would assume. Are you ahead of us? Or is it behind us? I don't know. We are leaving 5 weeks from today. Yeah. All right. Hold on, Mike's texting me about things that he needs to pick up while he's out. And he knows that I'm on my live, so if he's texting me, he needs an answer. Okay. So then our truck that we just got was owned by a smoker that was also a painter. So there were, the truck smells like smoke, and there are cigarette burns, like ash burns, in the upholstery, and then there's paint on the interior and mostly in the bed of the truck. And so they agreed to stitch the upholstery for us where there's burn marks, and to try and buff out the paint, and then do an ozone treatment, which we already did one. We did one ozone treatment. My dad has a machine because he had the same issue. But so they have our truck right now. So I haven't had a vehicle for 2 days now again. So that's kind of not fun. Thank you, Shane, so much. Have a great day. Yes, we're very excited, but it's very stressful. Thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate it, and have a great day. Charlene, thank you so much for coming in. So great to see you. Wendy, hey, thank you so much for coming in. So yeah, we had to call them. We dropped it off Monday night, and they said that they were going to do it on Tuesday, and then we thought we were going to get it. They said they were going to do it in a day, and we called them yesterday evening, and the service department closes at 7 or something like that. So we were calling them to see if they never called us to say it was done, and we couldn't get a hold of anybody. You can only talk to a service writer. And so we're like, okay, guess we're not getting the truck back. He just texted me and said the truck is ready. So add that to the list of things to do tonight. Whatever. At least I'll have a car back. And then Mike is picking up stuff for the party for this weekend. But I am freaking out a little bit because I do feel like I need to really get on this packing thing, because every weekend from now on is completely booked with either, like this weekend we have Hunter's birthday party, and then we have another a graduation party and a baby shower tomorrow or on Sunday. And then next week we're moving my dad down and we're going to be gone for like 5 days. So I only have during the week when I'm home with the kids by myself to pack. And then that following weekend, we're driving down again to get another load down. And then we're getting our pod and we're going. So I am panicking a bit. Thank you so much. Yeah, and we're kind of doing it. We're kind of making it a big deal. We got like a bounce house and trying to make it a big deal and inviting a bunch of people. We got people coming from work and friends and things like that because we're kind of making it a dual party, birthday party and going away party. Yep. We did ask for a loaner and they said that all their loaners are out. And I was like, if you really wanted to give us a loaner, you would just like send us to Enterprise or something like that. But whatever. I'm not even going to argue. I know I'm really like having a hard time like keeping it focused and not freaking out. He will be 5. Good morning, Annette. Thank you so much for coming in. You are an early bird. Yeah, I'm trying. But then too, like we still have 5 weeks to live here. Like I can't pack away everything. And then like we have 4 freezers. I don't use 4 freezers, but I have 4 freezers and I use 2. And I have one of the freezers, one of my main freezers is an upright freezer. So we're going to have to lay it down to bring it down there. And then once we get it there, we have to have it stood up for 24 hours before we can plug it in. So we're going to try to plug in one of our older ones that we got from Mike's grandma and hope that it works. And move everything from our main freezer to this chest freezer that's like 25 years old. So that we can empty the upright freezer, bring the upright freezer over the 4th of July so that it can be there and ready. And then the chest freezer, we're just going to hopefully load the chest freezer that is full of all of our frozen food and drive down. And then the stand-up freezer will be ready for us and cold. And just hope that the chest freezer keeps everything as cold as possible as we're driving down the road for 12 hours. Yeah. I know. It's going to get real at some point. And I have so many because we keep getting broken down ones from family because they're like, oh, well, this, we have one freezer that a friend gave us that's a really small chest freezer. And he's like, oh, it turns on, it just doesn't get cold. Well, that's kind of important, but it's not like the end of the world. And my brother's an electrical engineer. So he helped us fix our dryer when it stopped drying, when it stopped heating up. So I'm hoping he can help us fix that. I think it's just like a thermostat issue. I'm really hoping it's just like an easy thermostat issue. Thank you so much, Nina, for coming by. I really appreciate you. And then we got like another one from my grandma when she sold her house. She had no need for it anymore. And it works, but the seal around the door needs to be replaced. And then we got his grandma's chest freezer, which is like 25 years old. And they were told that if it was unplugged, it might not turn back on when we plugged it back in. So we haven't tested that theory yet, but we're hoping and praying that when we plug it in, it's going to work. So that's a good idea. However, the issue is going to be getting it up and into our truck. I'm not so worried about moving it across the ground as I am going up with it, because it is heavy with nothing in it. Boy, is it heavy. I know. I love, this is like my favorite, holding him like this when he's just totally limp and snuggled in and he's not kicking me or scratching me or anything. Bye, Nick. Thank you so much. There we go. Yeah, I don't have very many craftsmen in my family, and I don't have any craftsmen in my family, but I do have an engineer, and I don't even know what he did. He took something off and then soldered something back together that bypassed some like goofy safety mechanism or something like that, probably. I don't even know what he did. Yeah, it was still like running and it just never heated up. And I have no idea what he did, but my dryer works great. So I'm hoping he can do the same thing. With this little chest freezer. Ouch. So yeah, just trying to like plan things, and you can't plan the future. I don't know how everything's going to make its way down, but we're going to figure it out. I have complete faith that everything's going to work out, and we're not going to go too crazy, and everything's going to make it down, and we're going to make it down there safely. And that's the only thing that matters. And I'm just going to go keep thinking that. I'm going to will it to happen. And I really hope that we don't move on a really hot day. That would totally stink. Yes. Yes. Well, I'm always going a little crazy, Jen. I have 3 young boys. That's just a state of being. But yeah. I know. We are moving from Chicago to East Tennessee in 5 weeks. And then my son starts kindergarten in 6 weeks. That would be awful because we're taking down a trailer. I would much rather have the heat than rain. Much rather. And yeah, since I've been doing like all this negotiating and stuff like that with selling the house. Hey, Eric, thank you so much for coming in. I'm actually not replacing my roof because my roof is fine. It's just old plywood. There's no leaks, there's no stress, there's no nothing. But my plywood is 60-year-old plywood. So they're like, we can't guarantee your roof. And I'm like, you can't guarantee anything. And if my roof was gonna fly off, I have solar panels on my roof. And we had a tornado a year ago this past weekend. And if my roof was going to fly off at any moment, and it was an F3, so that's 100-mile-an-hour winds, and it was 3 houses away from me. If my roof was going to come off, those solar panels are like kites. It would have come off a year ago. And it's like, it's inevitable when you buy a new house that your furnace is going to break, your AC is going to break, something's going to go wrong when you first buy a house. And I'm just glad that I'm not also buying a house right now, because I don't think I can like take any more craziness with having the car totaled and then having to buy a new car and then having to sell our house and having to move states over. It's just, it's all too much. And then having my son start kindergarten, I can only handle so much, but I am not buying a house right now. So, but yeah, they're like, we can't guarantee your roof. And I'm like, can you guarantee anything? No. Is there anything wrong with my roof right now? Does it leak? No. Does it pose a threat to anybody? Is it going to collapse? No, it's solid. All right, then. I am not replacing it. Exactly. Exactly. And I bought him a home warranty, which apparently it only covers $500 worth of roof damage, which a new roof on this place is going to cost at least 10 grand. So that does not even touch that. Ugh. And 10 grand was the lowest quote we got. I was like, after the money I just dropped on this truck, I cannot buy a new roof. It's not in the cards at all. It's just not happening. Yes, everybody, don't forget to hit that thumbs up on your way out if you're leaving me. Totally get it. Everyone's got to do their stuff. I believe that I pinned the StreamYard link up at the top if anyone wants to jump up and chat. No, I don't. The Amish are in Indiana, on the far side of Indiana. That's the closest I have to Amish, as far as I know. That's the closest. Why? A pool sounds nice. I had a pool and it was so much work. I mean, it's nice when you're like enjoying it, but it's so much work. I did it. Did I not? I went under YouTube. When I look at it, it looks like it's pinned to the top. Is it not? Did I do it wrong? I don't think I did it wrong. The Fanatic Card Guru. Hello. I'm not familiar with you, but welcome to my chat. What's going on? Oh. Oh. So what do I do? So I just forget it. I'll just do this. I tried to pin it. I don't know what happened. I'll just do that. If anyone wants to come up. Thought I did this. Does that do it? If I just star it? I don't know. I starred it. I don't know what that does. Oh, hey, girl. Hey, girl, what's up?
Hang on, reset AirPods.
Just got sent here from Miss Southern Belle. Oh, that's fantastic. Welcome.
You gotta let people prep backstage before you put them on.
Oh, you look gorgeous to me.
Yay.
There are tons and
sunscreen hair.
Uh-oh.
I got sunscreen hair.
Hold on. Mike's calling me. Hello.
Who is it? Amber. Hello. How
okay.
are you?
Hello.
We're in the show now. Okay, go swim.
All right. Thanks. Okay. Picking up things for the party.
Woohoo!
He just sent me a picture of the cake that they do. He's at Costco picking up a cake.
That was for Chris.
Sure. He'll like it.
This is marvelous. This is absolutely wonderful. Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad I'm here fixing my hair?
Yeah. All right. Oh, for fixing the rough. Yeah. No, I didn't even think about that. Yes, he's sleeping now. He was just freaking out not too long ago, so I'm happy that he's passed out. That pool looks so nice and inviting. Why are you not in that pool?
What's wrong with you? Not? What is wrong with me?
Exactly. Your kids are smart.
They're having fun. Good. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was feeding the chickens.
Look at this. Do you think this took prepping? No prepping.
I was taking the compost out, and then I was feeding the chickens, and they were like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, can we get in?" I was like, "Fine, get in." So I'll just sit here and watch them.
Oh no, Eric! Really?
Ooh.
That stinks.
I need the net. You need the net. Get the net.
No one wants to do that. Did you have to replace all of the plumbing? Is that not? Did you not have an inspection, or did something catastrophic go wrong? Ew. Oh Lordy. Yes.
Hello.
Oh, so it's either chocolate on chocolate or white on white.
Chocolate on chocolate. Hello.
Yeah, I think he'll like chocolate better.
That's the answer.
Okay.
Chocolate is always the answer.
Yeah, he's a white frosting kid that loves like rainbow sprinkles. I was trying to like really make it.
That's wrong.
His faves, but what else? That's it.
Oh, yeah. What?
Yeah, I would not hesitate to be in that pool right now.
Yeah, I'm about to have them get out so I can go get my suit on.
Wait, what?
I need to get my suit on. You guys need to get out.
Yay.
Oh, yay! And that's so exciting. So does that mean you get to start your seeds now, or did you already start your seeds? That's so exciting. I know you're really excited about that. So who does the cleaning of that pool, Jennifer?
Unmute. Well, we both do, Steve and I.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun project. We've never had a pool before. We've been married for 26 years, and we've only lived in a house for the last 9. The last house that we bought was our first house. Up until then, it's been apartments and whatnot.
Oh wow! So you guys really moved on up.
Yeah, this is
so
quite the endeavor. Yeah. So
That's so different.
it's very different. So he transferred his job. He's with FedEx. So Harrison is one of the hubs, one of the big headquarters, Harrison, Arkansas, for FedEx Freight. And hang on just a second.
Your realtor removed the floor furnace, made it look winterized, and changed the MLS while we were on contract. We didn't find out till after closing. That's got to be illegal. How? What? How is that not criminal?
I'm on a mission.
That's crazy.
Something seems not right there.
I don't like buying houses.
Mm. Woo! So exciting, Annette.
I wish I was in winter starting seeds.
How cold is the coldest that it gets by you in Perth, Annette? In like the dead of winter for you?
Guys.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Where is the Fanatic Card Guru? Where are you? I missed it.
I don't know that they said where they are.
Fanatic Card Guru, where are you?
Ah, they're all lost. I win.
No way.
No.
That is so terrible. Oh my gosh. Georgia. All right. You know, I've only had store-bought figs, and I gotta say, I did not like them.
No, store-bought figs are horrible.
What?
Store-bought figs are horrible. You can't base it on that. Mm-mm.
Nobody up here grows figs. So
wait, well, when you get to Tennessee, you're gonna have some good figs.
So I really want to try like a fresh fig and see like how differently it tastes.
Warm right off the tree. Oh, juicy.
But it's and like I'm all about like having like an orchard and growing seed or like nuts and fruit and you know all the things. And I wouldn't mind having a fig tree if I liked them, but I'm not going to go buy a fig tree if I think that I'm not going to like them. So that's something that I'm looking forward to having fresh. So 19 degrees Celsius is what? Hey, Google. What is 19 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? 66 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not very cold at all.
Perfect.
That's perfect. Yes, exactly. So yeah, you could totally grow in that greenhouse all winter long. You are so lucky.
Yeah, but maybe that's like the daytime low. Maybe it gets down to 40 at night. It's gotta.
She said 3 degrees Celsius at night.
Oh, at night? Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
Home canned figs are the bomb. If anybody sees a wasp land on me, you gotta let me know.
So many people say this, and I'm like, I wish that I knew what that was like. Oh my God, it sounds like a horrible nightmare. I feel terrible for you. Like I can't even imagine going through that.
See, 34 Fahrenheit at night.
Yeah.
That's chilly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's chilly at night for sure. But tomatoes can stand a light frost. So you
Yeah, and
could
if you have a
totally go.
greenhouse, it's not going to be a problem. The
Yeah.
greenhouse, it's not even, yeah, it's barely freezing. It'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Wendy, thank you so much for coming in. I so appreciate you. Have a good evening. Oh, I dropped it again, but I can drop it now. You know, I'm not super techie here. I thought that I pinned it, but I
You're pretty
didn't.
techie.
I thought that by hitting this little star thing, that meant that it pinned it, but I don't see it doing it.
You pinned something.
There, I dropped it again if you want to come up.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, flail.
Pack and play.
Well, that's what he's gonna be like living in at my dad's
Get
house,
used
because we
to
don't
it,
have
yeah.
room. Or that's actually what he sleeps in our room. He's always lived in a pack and play in our
That's what
room.
we did.
Mm-hmm. And we were thinking we were going to be able to put our 2-year-old in our other pack and play, and I was like, I don't think so.
He's just gonna climb right out.
Well, and I'm not worried about him climbing out, but I just think it'll be so uncomfortable for him. He's been sleeping on a mattress for, 2 years now. To go,
Those things
and
are really hard as a rock.
well, we got a mattress to go in the bottom of the pack and play that fits the pack and play, but it's still
Cool.
not like a normal mattress,
Yeah, they're only like an inch,
So-
2 inches.
Yeah, and he's going to be sharing a room with his brother for the first time. So that's going to be an adventure, having the boys bunking together. And Cole will be able to get out of his bed for the first time because he's still in a closed crib. And Hunter's in like the toddler day bed. So he can come and go as he wants. And they play in Hunter's bed all the time. But Cole's never had access to get in and out of his room, and he's my troublemaker for sure. I joke that when I look at Cole, I see Chris Farley. Like I see him as a teenager like Chris Farley, because he's such a character. He's so animated. Plus he's like this little chunk that I love to squeeze like crazy. And he's super rambunctious. Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. Oh no, you have a huge order. Oh, well, go get that. I wonder what it is. Yeah, internet is, I thought it was pretty impressive that your internet was letting you sit outside at your pool anyway. That's pretty cool. So that's going to be another adventure that we're going to find out very quickly how that's going to go down. The 2 boys bunking in the same room, both able to get in and out of their beds, and they've never slept in the same room. So they're going to like keep each other awake or screw with each other. Thank God for technology. We have cameras to watch them, but that's just, Yeah, I hear that. Did you get a credit for it because the inspector found it? Or did you ask for a credit for it to be replaced? Oh, got it. Yeah, I mean, you do what you're comfortable with, but still stinks. Yeah, still stinks. Well, yeah, I'm sure they're still going to be doing it at 8 and 10 years old. They're just going to learn it like immediately here in just a couple of weeks. They already don't know how to play with each other without like becoming sumo wrestlers. But it's all part of growing up with brothers and growing up in general, I suppose. But if I didn't have eyes on them at all times, they would be getting in so much trouble. Oh, I so wish, Jennifer. I would. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm quite flushed at the moment. This kid is a furnace. Doesn't help that I'm still wearing this wrap, though. That, like, holds it all in. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, I've toyed around with getting another pool, but it was just so much work. The pool that I did have, though, was humongous. So that didn't really help with the whole clean. And that was the first pool I ever had. And having to clean a ginormous pool as your first pool, it was not fun. And Mike is not interested in cleaning a pool. His parents have a pool, and it was always the boys' duty to clean it. And so he's like, I'm not getting a pool. I'm like, we're going to be in Tennessee, and it's going to be hot. Don't you think you're going to want something to be, like, refreshing? And yeah, and it looks like a pretty good size. But if we're not going to live on water, then I think we're going to want a pool. The Wanda whale. What? We got the Wanda whale. She's a Roomba. Oh my gosh. I didn't know anything about that. That's awesome. Awesome, Eric. Thank you so much. You're still at work, huh? Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate you. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I shouldn't be surprised. And that sounds phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure it cost you a pretty penny, though, if it's anything part of like the Roomba series, because all of those, like their vacuums, their mops, everything, those are pretty expensive. All right, but I think I'm going to jump down here myself, you guys. He's ready to eat, and I got to start getting ready for dinner. So I want to thank you all for coming in, and I will catch you guys next week. More than likely. I think I'll be here. It'll be scheduled if I do make it up, but I don't know what's happening these days. Anything could happen. But thank you so much for coming in, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great evening. Bye. Say bye.